Hi guys, it's Samantha, and today I am back to give you guys my 2014 reading wrap-up. So in this video I'm going to tell you the quick books that I read in 2014. Probably not going to give too much of a description on them, just what I read and how I rated them, etc. As well as some stats of female to male authors and things like that. So let us get started. So in 2014, I set myself the goal of reading 50 books, but I set this goal in May of 2014, shortly before I started booktubing or shortly after, I can't remember which. So I had missed the first 5 months, basically, of the books that I read, and I can't quite remember what books I read. I know I didn't read that much, but I read around 5 to 7 books. So I probably read closer to 50 than what I actually recorded on Goodreads, but I'm just going to show you guys the books that I read on Goodreads. So the books I recorded on Goodreads was 40 books. So I was pretty close to reaching my 50 book goal by the end of the year, but I kind of missed it, but I'm okay with that because the Goodreads goal for me isn't like some set in stone goal. It's just something fun that I like to set for myself. So in May, I read 3 books. I read The Children of Hurin by J.R.R. Tolkien, and I rated it 4 stars. I also read Cinder by Marissa Meyer and rated it 3 stars. And Graceland by Kirsten Kishore, which I also rated 3 stars. In June, I read The Lies of Locke Lamora, the first book in the Gentleman Bastard series, and rated it 4 stars. I also started but did not finish Deep Blue by Jennifer Donnelly, which I hated and still rated it 1 star even though I didn't finish it. I also read Red Seas Under Red Skies by Scott Lynch, book 2 in the Gentleman Bastard series, and rated it 5 stars. And finally, I read Scarlet by Marissa Meyer, and I rated that one 4 stars. In July, I read 4 books. First book was a reread, and that was Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, which I left at my 5-star rating. The next book was Rise of Empire by Michael J. Sullivan, book 2 in the Rhaenyra Revelation series, and I rated that one 5 stars. The next book I read was Wildwood by Colin Malloy, and I rated that book 3 stars. And the last book I read was The Prince of Thorns, the first book in the Broken Empire trilogy, and I rated that one 4 stars. That one was by Mark Lawrence. In August, I read 8 books. The first book was Queen of the Tearling by Erica Johansson, and I rated that book 3 out of 5 stars. Next was Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan. I rated that one 3 out of 5 stars. Next was The Sea of Monsters by Rick Riordan. I rated that one 4 out of 5 stars. Next was A Throne of Glass, the first book in the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas, and I rated that one 3 out of 5 stars. I read The Titan's Curse, the third book in the Percy Jackson series by Rick Riordan. I rated that one 5 out of 5 stars. Next was The Assassin's Curse by Cassandra Rose Clark. I rated that one 3 out of 5 stars. Next was A Girl of Fire and Thorns by Ray Carson. I rated that one 5 out of 5 stars. And finally, I read Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, and I rated that one my 5 out of 5 star rating that I originally had it at. In September, I read 7 books. The first book was A Phantom's Dance by Lisa Howard. I rated that one 4 out of 5 stars. Next was A Battle of the Labyrinth, the 4th book in the Percy Jackson series. I rated that one 4 out of 5 stars. Next was Aristotle and Dante, Discover the Secrets of the Universe by Benjamin Alir-Sayens, which I'm certain I'm saying wrong. I rated that one 5 out of 5 stars. I also read the first book in the Mistborn trilogy, The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson, and rated it 4 out of 5 stars. I finally read the last book in the Percy Jackson series, Percy Jackson and the Last Olympians, and rated it 5 out of 5 stars. I also read the 3rd book in the Gentleman Bastard series, The Republic of Thieves, and I rated that one 5 out of 5 stars. In October, I read 4 books. The first book was The King of Thorns, the 2nd book in the Broken Empire trilogy. I rated it 4 out of 5 stars. I also read Asylum by Madeline Rue, and I rated that one 1 star. It was awful. I don't recommend it. I also read The Acts of King Arthur and His Noble Knights by John Steinbeck. I rated that one 2 out of 5 stars. I read The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman. I rated that one 4 out of 5 stars. In November, I read 6 books. The first one was Inda by Sherwood Smith. I left it at my 4 out of 5 star rating. Then I read Great Expectations by Charles Dickens and rated that one 5 out of 5 stars. I read the first book in the Chronicles of Prydain series by Lloyd Alexander. That was the Book of 3. I rated it 4 out of 5 stars. Next was Patrick Rothfuss's Celebrity Guard of Silent Things. This one I rated 4 out of 5 stars. The last 2 were short stories by Charles Dickens. The first one was Story of the Goblins Who Stole a Sexton, which I rated 4 out of 5 stars, and The Haunted Man by Charles Dickens, which I rated 2 out of 5 stars. In December, I read 6 books. The first one was The Coolest Girl in Cool Town by Holly Black, which I rated 1 out of 5 stars. My True Love Gave to Me by Stephanie Perkins, which I rated 3 out of 5. Hollow World by Michael J. Sullivan, which I rated 4 out of 5 stars. The Midnight Queen by Sylvia Izzo Hunter received 2 out of 5 stars for me. I read the graphic novel Amulet by Kazu Kibushi, which I rated 4 out of 5 stars. And finally, I read The Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb, which I absolutely adored, and rated 5 out of 5 stars. Those were the books that I read in 2014, and now for a few little fun statistics for you all. Overall, I rated 12 books 5 stars, 14 books 4 stars, 7 books 3 stars, 3 books 2 stars, and 3 books of 1 star. Of the 40 books, 16 were written by female authors, and 24 were written by male authors. I also read a total of 16,689 pages, which for me is quite a bit, though I hope to trump that in 2015. Now I thought I would give you guys some of my favorite characters of the year. Number one is probably going to be Locke from the Lives of Locke Lamora series. Absolutely loved Locke. He was hilarious and fantastic, and he was everything I could want in a character. He was just awesome. I mean, how much more can you say? He was a thief and he was a smart ass, and for me that was perfect. Next, of course, is Inda from the book series Inda by Sherwood Smith. I've always loved the character of Inda. He's definitely a complex character. You see him as a kid and you kind of watch him grow up as the series goes on, and a lot of stuff happens to him and how he develops and how things happen. Oh, it's just amazing. Inda is a fantastic character and has remained one of my favorites. The other character that I absolutely loved this year was Fitz from the Assassin's Apprentice book series. Again, another what I would call more complex character. A lot has gone on with him, and you see how that affects him and how he grows as a person despite what has occurred to him and the injustices that have been done to him. Next was Ori from the Slow Regard of Silent Things by Patrick Rothfuss. I loved Ori. Not your typical character, but being able to get inside of her head it was pretty cool. I really enjoyed that and getting to kind of know her more. She's definitely a unique character from any book series I've ever read, and being able to see things from her perspective was fantastic. And last, I'm going to go with Alyssa from the Girl on Fire and Thorns trilogy because I absolutely loved Alyssa's character development from the first book, from the beginning of the first book all the way to the end. She went from a slow, meek, self-deprecating character to this strong, independent woman, and I absolutely love that about her. So definitely those are some of my favorite characters of 2014. I'll now show you guys some of my favorite book covers of the books that I read from 2014. The first one is this edition of Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. I found this one at Barnes & Noble. It's one of their classic editions, and I absolutely think, I just love it. It's so cool. Look at it. Look at its beauty. And it comes with a bookmark. And how can you not love a built-in bookmark, right? Next was The Assassin's Curse by Cassandra Rose Clark. Even though I didn't much care for the book, I did love the cover. It kind of has this Arabian Nights feel, which it does take place in sort of what you would consider a medieval type, Middle Eastern type country. But I just like the blue, and I don't know, it reminds me of Aladdin, and I thought it was kind of cool. I also really enjoyed the Graceling cover by Kristen Cashore. I just like its shininess, and the knife with the eye in it looks pretty dang cool. And I don't know, it's one of the better covers. I really, really appreciate gorgeous book covers. Next, I also really enjoyed The Midnight Queen by Sylvia Is a Hunter. I love purple anyway, and I like owls, and I like the font, and everything about it I think just looks really cool, and I like floppy paperbacks, which this one is, and I don't know, it's just pretty. It has like several different purples in the cover, and it just looks really pretty. Last, probably one of my favorite book covers of the year, and it's also like one of my favorite books, so it works out well. That is The Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. I love these UK paperback covers. I have the next two in the series coming, and I can't wait to get them. But they just look really pretty. You kind of have this gilding going on over here in the A, and I like the calligraphy, and I don't know. They're just really, really nice. Nicely made. Even the spine looks cool. Look at that. Yes. Love these book covers. Love them. Love them so much. Alright guys, that was sort of my little random 2014 year in review. I hope it was somewhat interesting. I felt like I was a little bit all over the place. I just kind of want to put in some of my favorite things from the books I read, such as characters and covers, and just share some little facts for you. I'm hoping to keep better track of statistics for this coming year, so I can definitely see where I'm at in terms of gender and reading books from people of color and things like that, and just see how it stacks up at the end of the year. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down in the comments how your reading year in 2014 went, or if you did a video, link it down below so I can watch it. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, happy reading. Bye!